One judge ignored the jury and crushed our voice. It's a tragedy. Let's break it down.
Big reversal in a $7.2 million fraud case in Hennepin County. The judge has thrown out the jury's guilty verdict.
This wasn't some technical hiccup. These fraudsters, Abdifatah Yusuf and Lul Ahmed, were convicted on 6 counts of charges, months of evidence, a jury that deliberated for hours, all erased in one ruling.
Yusuf and his wife, Lul Ahmed, were charged with stealing $7.2 million of taxpayer money through Medicaid overbilling in a personal care assistant, or PCA, scam. The couple allegedly spent tens of thousands of the fraud money.
Look at Minnesota. It's a state already drowning in a total meltdown of its basic institutions. And now, a new shadow is hanging over the courtroom. For weeks, 12 regular people sat in those hard chairs, listening to every grueling detail of how millions of your tax dollars were siphoned off. These weren't just numbers. It was money meant for people who actually needed care. The jury saw the spreadsheets, they heard the testimony, and they did the right thing. They found Abdifatah Yusuf guilty of scamming the Medicaid system out of $7.2 million. We thought the rule of law actually won for once, but Judge Sarah West had other plans. In a move that's sent a chill through anyone who still believes in the court, she didn't just voice a doubt, she killed the entire verdict. She had the nerve to say the evidence was just circumstantial. That's a slap in the face to 12 honest citizens.
It's a signal that the elite can just override the will of the people whenever it suits them. What really stings about this is what he was doing with your money. The prosecution showed a trail of pure greed that should make any working American's blood boil. Think about it. While you're out there struggling to cover your own doctor's visits, Yusuf was allegedly living a life of total decadence. We're talking about high-end luxury, Porsches and Mercedes parked in the driveway, all paid for with money meant for the vulnerable. We're talking about Louis Vuitton wardrobes and $500,000 homes. His company, Promise Health Services, was a total ghost operation. It existed for one reason, to harvest the fruits of your hard work for his personal gain. The jury saw the receipts. They saw the lifestyle. They saw the damage done to a program that's supposed to be a safety net. But even with a mountain of data, the judge claimed the connection wasn't there. It leaves you wondering, if a unanimous jury and millions in unexplained luxury won't get a conviction in Minnesota, what will? The message is loud and clear. The system doesn't care about the taxpayer anymore. You can't look at this as some freak accident. It's part of a pattern that's hardened under Governor Tim Walz. From that billion-dollar feeding our future disaster to this latest joke of a ruling, Minnesota has become a wide-open playground for anyone looking to exploit the system. People are saying the state's leadership has created an environment of total negligence, a place where oversight is a memory and accountability is just a fairy tale they tell voters. And when the Somali community is used as a shield by activists every time the law tries to step in, the truth gets buried. But let's be real. Theft is theft. When a judge like Sarah West, who was hand-picked within this very political machine, chooses to toss out a jury's decision, it points to an ideology that puts the defendant ahead of the public. People in Minnesota are tired. They're tired of being told to look away while the state's infrastructure falls apart and their tax dollars are treated like a private ATM for the well-connected. This isn't over. The demand for the feds to step in is getting louder by the minute. The time for polite concern is long gone. It's time to push back against this rot in our legal standards. If a judge can just delete a unanimous guilty verdict because she personally isn't a fan of the evidence,
then we don't have a trial by jury anymore. What we have is a judicial autocracy. The legal world is watching, and the public is finally waking up to the game. There's already talk of ethics complaints and federal charges to fix this local disaster. We need a full-scale audit of the entire pipeline, from the prosecutors to the judges. We need to know exactly why the system failed to protect $7.2 million of your money. This isn't just about one guy named Abdifatah Yusuf. It's about whether the word guilty still means anything in an American courtroom. We have to stand firm. We have to demand transparency. We have to tear down the culture of corruption that lets these tragedies happen. The future of the state depends on us being willing to fight for the truth.
Ending.
This report is complete, but the fight is just beginning. Subscribe now to stand with us.